to Lit Happens here on Shaw TV. I'm Kara Stomaszek, and I'm joined now by author Kelley Byrne. So we have children's books here. This is very exciting because children's books aren't really what I'm familiar with. I have such a tremendous respect for people who can write children's books. So we'll get to those in a second.
Okay.
So first, I want to kind of get to know you a little bit because writers are a product of where they've come from. So where did Kelley come from?
I was raised in Montana and met my husband through Rodeo and have been in Prince Albert for 32 years. We raised our children here in Prince Albert. They've gone to grade school out at East Central and then on to Carleton. And they grew up here in Prince Albert, as I did, basically.
All right, so people probably know that Byrne last name,
right?
Of course, especially if you're from Prince Albert, you know the name. Mm-hmm. So this world, horses and bulls and all kinds of exciting rodeo actions. So this is something you were involved with as well when you were growing up.
Absolutely. I don't talk about it much, but I was a barrel racer and I still am. I still do my barrel racing and train horses for barrel racing, as do the boys bull ride, and we do the rodeo thing. Not as intense as I used to do it, but I did grow up and met my husband Ryan, of course, through rodeo, and we raised our family through rodeo. So it's just an environment that we're all involved in and used to doing.
Very cool. So what is it about that world that that sparks that passion for you and your family? What is it? Just what brings everybody together around that?
I think it's just so family orientated. Like everybody's one big family. We're there to help each other and be with each other. And when the children were small, we used to just travel in our vehicle all together. There was no way anybody could get away from each other. We were just like in the vehicle going from rodeo to rodeo, and it just, they grew up with it in their blood. Their dad was a bullfighter for 21 years. And they followed in his footsteps.
Excellent. So the family all came up through this world and inspired you to start writing books. So
exactly.
Tell us about the books you've done.
Rodeo isn't very common in our area, especially Prince Albert and bull riding especially. And so I feel like it was new to everyone. And when other kids were playing baseball and soccer and lacrosse, our kids were playing bull riding. And it just, they would go to kindergarten and play bull riding with the other kids, and everybody was like, what? But it was a great way to grow up.
So the stories are inspirational. We want children to follow their dreams and find their passion. So your children did. So can we just kind of mention the inspiration for Billy didn't just kind of come out of nowhere and you were hoping your kids would get to that point. Your children are very, very accomplished. So can we talk about that?
Sure. So I have 3 boys. Bo is the oldest, Jesse, and then Tanner Byrne. I'm sure Prince Albert is familiar with those boys. They grew up here. They grew up with a vision of becoming professional athletes, and they never strayed from that vision. They're inspirational, successful, and very good at what they do. And for me, they're actually an inspiration for me, and to write about them, which I'm not exactly sure how they felt about that, about, hey, mom's writing a story about us growing up. But I moved forward with it, and I'm very proud of the books and who my children have become, and they are about them.
That's amazing, and you should be very proud, of course.
Thank you.
So you were talking about some of the writing you've done in the past, but that inspiration comes from somewhere. What spurred you on? Pardon the pun, but what spurred you on to pursue writing in any way?
Well, I've always enjoyed writing. I started with journalism and then wrote some column writing for a Rodeo magazine, right. And then I did some blogging. So then it took me about 7 years, but I wrote a memoir. And it was about 1,500 pages. Finally, I just got so frustrated with it, I threw it in the closet and decided, you know what, maybe it would be fun to do something that I'm inspired by. So something that I enjoy sharing and am passionate about. And that would be my children and what they've done for me in my life and what they have done for themselves. So that spurred me on to write about their accomplishments.
Well, like you said, this isn't something that's that common in Prince Albert. We definitely know what it's like to grow up and do theater, take dance,
right.
play hockey. So this is really, really interesting. So just talk us through the books that you have published here.
Okay, so I have 3 boys who grew up with a vision of becoming professional athletes. They never strayed from that. I find they're so inspirational, they're very talented, and they've been very successful at what they have accomplished. I'm not sure they were as excited as I was about sharing their stories growing up, but I moved forward and created a character that embodies each of their 3 different personalities, their characteristics, just their drive and determination, all rolled into one little rough and tumble little boy, who is a character that I named Billy Buck. And so he's the center of the three books that I've done.
Very cool. And what does Billy Buck get up to in his exploits?
So it's a 3-book series, as well as I've done a coloring and activity book just for the fun of it. Nice. The children's books are true stories about boys at play. So they're all different in the fact that these boys play bull riding. Right? They're not playing soccer or hide and go seek or whatever, they play bull riding. So for one, there was the bull. One kid was the bull. Then there was the bull rider, and then the 3rd boy was the bullfighter. Now, bullfighter, the first thing that comes to mind is matador, Mexican bullfighting. This bullfighter is an athlete that protects the bull rider. So his job is to distract the bull so that the bull rider can get to safety after his 8-second ride. So then they would switch, and another one would be the bull, and the next one would be the bullfighter, and then the bull rider. As you'll see in the bullfighter Billy story, Billy grows up perfecting the Mississippi Shuffle and making moves around the family dog, knowing that someday he wouldn't be making moves around the family dog, he'd be making moves around charging bulls. So Too Tall Billy, in this story, Billy grows really tall, taller than all of his brothers and his friends at school. He even grows taller than his dad. And he has to find out that he might be too tall to be a bull rider. So it just follows Billy as he realizes that nothing is out of his reach and that being tall is really no problem at all. So the 3rd story is called Bull Rider Billy, and it is a story where Billy rides an old beaten up plastic Brahma bull on the trampoline. So Billy jumps up and down, getting higher with each trampoline jump, the toy bull spinning and ducking underneath him, and each time he's on a different bull. So he's playing bull riding basically, and someday he knows he's going to grow up to be a world champion. So the stories are inspirational, follow your dream type. They embody a hidden message of play hard, dream big, smile often, and never give up. So I like them to be inspirational, and I think that they are.
Very cool. That's very interesting. This is wonderful. And so the other half of a good children's book, which is another part that blows my mind, is how the words and the story also come together with the pictures.
Right.
I mean, that's almost half of the storytelling too. So who does your illustrations?
I was lucky enough to meet a gentleman from right here in Prince Albert as well. His name is Arthur Karakachuk. He's very talented, and he brought my characters to life. I'm really pleased with the work that he's done. He's an experienced artist. He is extremely talented and local from here in Prince Albert. You can find him online at arthurkarakachuk.com.
These are children's books, and I'm willing to bet that you don't read children's books in your spare time. So what do you enjoy reading?
I do read children's books because I do have a granddaughter now.
Oh.
So I am into that a little bit, but I read a lot of Oprah, Super Soul Sunday, Inspirational. I really enjoy that, and I'm more of a self-help guru.
Cool. So what's in the future for the bull riding books? I'm sure you've got more story ideas in the can.
Well, I'm hoping to do a little girl's story. I get a lot of questions. I've been doing some school tours and talking to some children, and they're like, where's the little girl book? So I'm hoping to do one more, which will be called Barrel Racer Bella, and we'll move forward with that.
And I know you've got a granddaughter, and this is maybe to
Right.
Kind of in honor of her a little bit?
Exactly. I do have a granddaughter. She already has 2 horses, and she's not 2 yet herself. So that'll be fun growing up with her and bringing her into this world as well. I wanted to mention that I wrote the books because I wanted to see kids smile. And for me, to take these books to a school and see kids laugh or smile, it makes my heart happy to know that I'm doing some good and making kids smile and learn that they can follow their dreams, and nothing is impossible.
Very nice, and that's a good children's book, absolutely. Definitely the stories they need. So people watching this right now want to get a copy of your books and read all about Billy. How do they do that?
Sure, so the books are online at www.billybuck.ca, and you can purchase them online. Like I said, the third one, Bull Rider Billy, isn't published until, it should be out right before Christmas now. So that's where they can get them.
Excellent. You were mentioning the school tours and...
Right, I've been doing school tours. I'm a member of the Saskatchewan Writers Guild and the Canadian book market as well. I just wanted to mention that Billy Buck never gives up. And I think that's so important for kids. He believes in himself, and I think everybody could use a little Billy Buck in their lives.
Well, and again, thank you very much for coming in, and thank you for tuning in. As always, past episodes of Lit Happens can be viewed on shawtv.ca.